Welcome back to Girl Talk. We have been enjoying our time here at Cambridge Winery. We are in Cambridge, and not too long ago we had Frank Peregrine on our show, and we got to learn a little bit about some of his planning for this fabulous opening, and we had to learn more. So here we are, and we're actually sitting in Cambridge Winery. We're so pleased to be here. Frank, thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure.
So we have a lot to cover, but I want to learn first a little bit about this beautiful event center.
Well, the event space is a building we acquired from Matt Kenseth. That was his fan club museum for about 10 years. Nice facility. We remodeled it to turn it in from a NASCAR museum into a winery tasting room, and hopefully we've done a nice job with that. We just opened to the public about 2 weeks ago, and we had our first major event this past weekend. It was a Cambridge Arts Council gala, annual gala. We had about 200 people here on Saturday night, including Elise. So
I was there. I had a great time.
And it was a wonderful time for everybody. And most of the people that were here were locals from Cambridge, and they got to enjoy this new venue.
How wonderful. And I think I can speak for a lot of ladies out there. No offense, NASCAR, but we much prefer the winery.
So Frank, how is the development coming along?
Well, the development, we put in curbs and roads, water and sewer last fall. We have 2 homes built. We have about half of the lots available. We have a lot of activity in the last few weeks. Everybody's getting spring fever and are out looking at potential places to live. We're getting pretty good demand because the inventory of homes for sale is not high and the demand is fairly high. So a lot of people are looking at building a new home as an option. So we've got 25 lots of our 50 that are accessible by road right now. We also have a condominium development that is going to break ground in about 2 weeks. We're at the final stages of getting that taken care of, and we're hoping to break ground on the apartment building later this spring as well.
So it sounds like development is coming along quite nicely. Very exciting.
Yes.
It is, and we're also continuing to develop the Vineyard. As you know from our previous talks, that homes in this development will be, if they're not on the vineyard, they'll be very close to it. So there'll be vines in many of the backyards. Won't be in the backyard, it'll be on the winery property, but it'll be right up to the backyard property line. So we're going to plant another 5 acres of vines in about 2 months. We'll start that activity in April. And we planted 4 acres last year, so we'll have a lot of vines up there.
Sounds like a romantic fairy tale, the idea of living right next to a vineyard, but not something that can be a reality, but here it is, being a reality right behind us.
And Frank is not only the owner of Cambridge Winery, but you're also a master gardener, and you have been planting grapes.
That's correct. Most of what I learned about grape cultivation was through the UW system. They've got at the UW West Madison Ag Research Station, where I've been a volunteer for about 10 years, they've got grape trials going on. Also, the UW instructors have been hosting a number of seminars that I've attended. We actually hired a horticulture graduate from UW program who has joined us full time, and he'll be doing most of the heavy lifting in the vineyard. I'll be standing there watching him, I think.
And I think it's worth mentioning that you use organic methods in your winery.
As much as possible. We have in the back room here, we have an ozone sprayer that will spray ozonated water onto our vines. Ozone will kill any pathogens it comes in contact with, and there's so many mildews and funguses and things like that you can get on your vines that we're hoping to be able to avoid chemical sprays. It's a little bit of an experimental technique so far. It's got some success, and if we can just simply cut our spraying in half, it would be accomplishing a lot for us.
Very good. And I want to touch a little bit too with the building of this new event center and the development going on and all of these things that are happening for Cambridge Winery. Talk to us a little bit about the wine tasting room on Whitney Way in Madison.
Well, we opened the wine tasting room there in November of 2014, so it's been a little over a year. We're intending to continue to operate that, so the same wine and the same pricing, the same everything is available at the Whitney Way location as is available out here. One of the differentiating factors is out here we have event space that can host up to 300 people. We don't have anywhere near that space in Madison. Madison is great for smaller groups and local groups, 30, 40 people. We've had groups of 60 in there before, and it was very comfortable. So.
Sounds like a girls' night we need to do, huh?
Sounds like
so. I think so. I had such a great time here last weekend. How can our viewers at home, how do they get in contact with you if they're interested in setting up a party here at this beautiful event?
Best way would be to go to our website. We have a form that they can fill out. It's a contact form. We actually have a full-time events person on board who can help coordinate what they would like. We have a full kitchen here, so we can do a banquet, or we can do a buffet. We can do those sort of things. We're not intending to operate as a restaurant per se, other than having some small bites that our tasting room patrons might want to enjoy. The kitchen is really there to support the banquet facility.
You need a little cheese with your wine.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right, yes.
Cheese and meat plates are very popular.
This is such a romantic, beautiful space. I can just envision all kinds of events happening here. What a beautiful place for a wedding reception, or just so many possibilities. It's truly, you should stop in if you're anywhere near the Cambridge area. It is absolutely worth it. All the little details are beautiful, and of course, there are rows and rows and racks of wine along the side there that add to the touch.
And a big panel of curved windows.
Beautiful windows.
It's lovely. Sort of reminds me of the Monona Terrace in a way.
Yeah.
It is. We just don't have the big lake out in front of us.
Just need a lake.
No, but it's beautiful. We've got a beautiful field to look at, and of course we've got the vineyards behind us. So just a lovely space. Thank you for sharing this with us.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.
Well, we're all set. This is Frank with Cambridge Winery. We want to thank you so much for having us. Thanks to all of our guests, and thank you for watching. Join us next time for Girl Talk.